Hey, what's good, magical family? It's Unique Divination, and you're tuned in to Urban Mystic TV. And this is my full moon in Sagittarius, May 2018 psychic reading. And so, basically, last full moon we had the energy of Scorpio, which dealt with regeneration, renewal, decay, kind of releasing that winter energy and embracing the spring energy, rebirth, renewal. And so Sagittarius deals with expansion, transformation, and spiritual awareness. So it kind of just plays off of Scorpio. So once we've shed all the old things in Scorpio, we now begin to expand in Sagittarius and continue to transform. And now we need to be more spiritually aware and apply spirituality to all things that we're currently doing. And so, as usual, we have our tarot deck, which is the Thoth deck. We've got a goddess guidance card to get a little bit of feminine guidance, and then we have a past life card to see how the past life is affecting our current situation. And so, the first card that we're going to talk about is the Seven of Discs, which represent failure. So, in this instance, dealing with the full moon in Sagittarius, that transformation energy expanding, we're going to come across fear of failing. This specifically can be applied to relationships. It can be applied to business. If you're an entrepreneur, it could be applied to whether you work for a corporation, and just personal goals that you're trying to manifest. The fear that you are feeling is fear of the unknown, and definitely fear of failing. I don't know if you guys have heard of that saying that the master has failed more times than a student. You're never going to be able to grow, expand, learn from anything if you have not failed. No one in this life is perfect. If anyone portrays that they are perfect, then we know that as a straight facade. I can apply this to myself. As much as I like to do things the right way, I fail. I fail at marketing. I fail making products sometimes. Have to go back and go to the drawing board and figure out what is it that I'm doing wrong or I did wrong to kind of work through that roadblock or that challenge ahead. So everybody fails at some point in their life. There is no way you can have any type of growth whatsoever if you haven't failed at one point at something. Like I said, once you failed, you can go back and analyze what went wrong. You can look at what you can do to make it better, and you can move forward instead of harping on that failure or getting discouraged or, trying to back out of what it is that you're trying to do. This card, as far as relationship-wise, also deals with deception, unfulfilled promises. You may have somebody in your life that's promising you things that they don't have any intention on giving you. So let's look at things from a practical standpoint as far as the relationship. Call that person out. Don't let them continue to feed you with bullshit, knock you on the head with some nonsense. Call them out. Let them know that they don't have any intention and they need to do what they say that they're going to do. And if this applies to you, then you need to understand that you got to stop telling people things that you don't have any intention on doing. and you may even have the intention on it, but the drive and the motivation to actually complete out the request is just not there. So don't bullshit people. If it's you, if you're telling people that you're going to do things, just say, hey, look, I don't have the time to do it right now. Just don't paint a picture for somebody that you're not willing to see all the way through. All right? So also, let's make sure that the endeavors that we're working on, some of you that may have some new ideas for businesses or for work, let's make sure that these are tangible things that can be groomed and expanded on in the future, okay? We don't want to put that facade out there, false hope for anything that we're doing in life. And don't give yourself any false hope either. Look at the reality of things and what you can and cannot do. And it's okay if there are certain things that you can't do, but we need to look at things in a practical manner and not give ourselves an illusion and not give other people an illusion. Reflect, like I said, reflect on the failures, reflect on the setbacks to see what it is that we can do different. Do not be disappointed. This is just an opportunity for you to renegotiate, replan, revise, rethink what it is that you're trying to do. Let's not make any unwise investments. Like I said, let's focus and learn. There's no sense of failing if you're not going to learn from the failure. If you're just going to keep repeating the same mistakes, it's actually called insanity. So let's just remember that. Okay? The next card that we have is the Princess of Wands. And so with this card in conjunction with the Seven of Discs that represent failure, we're leaning more towards the shadow self. And so because there may be some feelings of insecure, of failure, fear of failing, we may come around to feelings of instability, cruelty to people, kind of lashing out, domineering personality. Your fear of failure is causing you to lash out and try to control other people because you feel like you don't have any control over your situation, which is completely the wrong way to be looking at things. Like I said, we need to revise, replan, and reflect on our failures and not look at them as failures but as learning moments. And so if you harbor on the negative aspect of the failure, you're going to be domineering. It's certainly going to be looking at things from a superficial aspect. The reason why you feel like you're failing is because maybe you're comparing or you're not looking at the totality of the situation, and so it's making you superficial. And as much as we would like, there is no fast fix for things, like fast money. If you want to succeed in life, you're going to have to work hard, and it's going to take time and patience, and we definitely need to understand that. So if we do not let the shadow aspect of the Princess of Wands gets to us, we can embrace her light side, which is having courage, being enthusiastic, and having passion and a joy for life. The Princess of Wands is packed with powerful energy and creativity, and Wands is a fire element, which is the will to do stuff and do things. So let's make sure that we stay on track with our goals and our manifestations. Wands is fire. It's incredible energy. This card also represents Venus in the fire sign. So this would be a great opportunity to let out some sexual frustration. If you've been celibate for a while, I'm not knocking anybody that's celibate, but you need to find a way to release that sexual tension that's been built up. And it is okay to have sexual relations with yourself, but in order to get those energies going, that spark that we need to help with manifesting what we're doing and just to keep going, we need to have a really good sex session with the partner. I'm talking hair pulling, spanking. We need to release sexual tension because there's a lot pent up and built up inside. If you have a partner and your sex has been lacking lately, you may want to look into things to kind of spice it up. I don't know, maybe watch some pornos. Let's get some toys involved, some edible things, some food, whatever it is that you desire or you would like to incorporate into your sex life with your partner. If it's a fantasy, I mean, let's open up. There's no reason to be in a relationship with somebody if you cannot confide in your sexual fantasies and desires. So I would really work on releasing the sexual tension. Like I said, if you have a partner, let's explore sexually some new things with each other. And that should kind of get things going for you and get you out of that funk. You know, directing that, it's kind of transmutating that energy of fear of failing. We want to transmutate that energy and put it into our passion and desire. And it will help with our creativity and just help with manifesting things that we're trying to do. So lots of sex, lots of good sex, meaningful quality sex. None of the, one night stand. If it's going to be a one night stand, let it be a good one. But let's have some good, meaningful, powerful sex. Right? The next card we're going to get into is the Two of Discs. And this card represents change. Constant change, sudden change, slow change. And Jupiter in Capricorn is responsible for this card. Jupiter deals with good fortune. Of course, Capricorn deals with structure, organization, materialization, order, sacrifice, and achievement. And so, if any of you guys are like me that's listening, I'm a Capricorn, and it's ironic that Capricorn represents this card because a lot of Capricorns really don't like change. I can manage and work through change, but I don't like change. And so that's something that we need to understand, that nothing is ever the same. What's constant is change. And so if you're somebody who kind of wants things to go a certain way all the time, you may need to reevaluate how you're moving through life, how you're looking through life, because nothing's going to stay the same. Things are going to change constantly, and in order to grow, because Sagittarius represents expansion and transformation, we need change in our lives. So go with the flow. Do not fight the change. If you see the imagery on the card, it's an Ouroboros, which is a snake biting its own tail. So that's indicating that there's infinity going on, which just confirms or just reiterates what I'm saying as far as change being the only thing that's constant. All right. Make sure that we've got balance in our life. Moderation is the key. We don't do good when we work with extremes. If you're overworking yourself or underworking yourself, there has to be a balance. You can't do too much and you can't do too little. rest, taking care of your body, eating appropriately. We don't want to be eating too much junk food. You don't want to be a health nut and just, not indulging and treating yourself to sweets and things. So let's work in moderation. If you're struggling in your relationship with your partner, always fighting, let's work on being a little bit more silent until we can find that balance where we learn to communicate effectively and appropriately with our significant other. And again, just understand that change is inevitable. We need to be like water, flow like water. Water can pretty much adapt to anything, and it's still very powerful. So in order for the transformation to take place, we need to go with the flow and not fight with what's taking place in our life. And so the goddess that will be giving us guidance for the full moon in Sagittarius is Lakshmi. And Lakshmi is a Hindu goddess who brings abundance to those who call upon her. Sorry if you hear the clicking in the background. She has a connection to the lotus flower, elephants, and water, which represents her absolute faith in fertility and abundance available to everyone. She's happy to bring supply to you, whether that means money, time, knowledge, or opportunity. Lakshmi works with Ganesh, the elephant-headed deity who's known as the overcomer of obstacles. Together, they're an unstoppable team that works to help you release fear and accept abundance. And so it would definitely be beneficial to call upon Lakshmi to help with our fear of failing, which we discovered in the Seven of Discs. And so Lakshmi says to us, stop worrying, everything is going to be fine. This is a kind universe, and everyone within it is working in your favor. There are no tests, blocks, or obstacles in your way except your own projections of fear into your future. Take a moment and hush your mind, quieting it from worries and fears. Feel me brush your brow with the new energy of faith, hope, and optimism. These energies fuel your exciting present time as well as all future moments. Why would you wish darkness upon yourself when light shines all around you? Step into this brightness by lightening your thoughts and feelings. You must stop worrying as this anxiety squelches the goodness that seeks to find you. Clear your heart of fear and replace those energies with ones that will serve you and your family instead. Refuse to think of anything except your bright today and tomorrow, and I promise you that it shall be so. And Lakshmi also tells us that you and your loved ones will be protected and provided for. Let go of any bag lady fears about your future. Hold positive thoughts and intentions, and know that you'll always have your needs met now and in the future. And do not worry about money, but instead visualize abundance. So Lakshmi just kind of reiterates and confirms that we can move past that fear. Our last card that we're going to focus on is our past life card, and this basically tells us what kind of energies from our past life that could possibly help us in our current life. And we have Greco-Roman. And this card tells us that we had a significant life in Greece or Rome that is influencing the situation that we're dealing with now as far as fear, moving forward, kind of transforming. You may be drawn to Greco-Roman culture, maybe their religion, their gods or goddesses. And perhaps you've even visited some of these Mediterranean areas which feel strangely familiar. And once we visit a place that we've lived in our past life, we kind of experience deja vu, so to speak. And so now that you've become consciously aware of your connection to Greece and Rome. Spend time researching these ancient cultures and the spirituality associated with these places. Your research will trigger memories and insights, and you'll come to better understand yourself and your situation. And what I do know of the Greco-Roman culture is that they were fearless. You know, it was a very brutal and barbaric, almost savage like era with war and battle. So we can take that energy of being fearless in the Greco-Roman culture and kind of apply that to the energy of the full moon to be able to work through our adversities, our fear of failing, and to be courageous and understand that the fear doesn't go away, that you've got to move through it, and so it doesn't overcome you and stifle you in what it is that you're trying to achieve. Okay? So this concludes my reading for Full Moon Sagittarius, May 2018. Thank you always for tuning in. I appreciate all my listeners, all my viewers, all my subscribers, each and every one of you. I appreciate it. And if you happen to be watching or listening to this video and you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? All right, so I will talk to you guys later. All right, I hope everyone received this message well, and I'm out.